Cool. Okay, you're all welcome to this wonderful training. And we are here to learn a lot of stuff. And our facilitators are here already, and I must appreciate them given the time difference and a lot of efforts that they've put into making sure that this thing is going to hold. And we thank everybody that is joining us to learn this together with us. We all agree with me how important it is for us to do something like this. It helps us to create more content. There are times that we share a lot of things on our WhatsApp status and on our Instagram. I don't know how many of us are on TikTok here, but people go there to consume a lot of things. But why don't we also flood those things with flood what people consume with genuine stuff, genuine things from the Lord? So, but we can't do that without learning the basics of what we make us to create graphical content that is very cool to the eye. So today we will be learning this, and I want to acknowledge the presence of everybody here. Akinkumi, just in no particular order, please. Akinkumi, Jeremiah, Bro Sanusi, Bro Daniel. Thank you very much, Bro Daniel. Bro Kolade, Bro Unche Emmanuel, and finally our sister Dorcas. Thank you so much for joining us. So actually, many of us must have learned about Canva before now. It's a versatile tool for creating graphics for various needs and occasions. So learning to utilize it is very, very important in this age. Of course, there are many other tools, but this is one of the most used tools that we've got available. And I think we've been learning a lot from it. There's also premium packages for this, but then you don't even need to subscribe to the premium package before you can make good use of Canva. I've used it many times too before, but tonight we are going to be learning how to make the most of it. But before we begin, I want to ask, because as shared in the group, we asked that we should prepare our laptops ready, our PCs, wherever you are, because this is going to be, to some extent, hands-on practicals. We'll be doing everything together, because I think it is best to learn when we are all doing it together. So at the end of the day, according to our facilitators, we probably be comparing whatever everybody has done together. So please let us make sure that our systems are available and we are ready to learn. Now I'm going to be introducing our facilitators, those that will be training us tonight. Both of them are already here, which is very nice. I love that. But the first person that will be training us tonight will be training us on the basics of the design. Basics of design, that's the elements and principles that pertain to designing. And that's our sister that everybody knows here. Maybe Bro Jeremiah doesn't, but Bro Sanusi knows our sister. So she's going to be taking us that first. And then afterwards, our amiable brother too, Bro Daniel, will be taking us how to navigate the Canva interface. I think that's going to be the hands-on training. So that's going to be done as soon as Sister Dorcas finishes as our own aspect. So without further ado, I think we should let us know that if you have questions too, please note them down, because there's going to be a segment for that. That's for the questions and answer. And then, like I said earlier, this is recorded for us to probably go back later on to check what is said and what is not said. And I pray that the Lord will bless us as we do this together in Jesus' name. So let us move on to Sister Dorcas, and as she takes us on the basics of design, the elements and principles involved. Over to you, Sister Dorcas.
Yeah, thank you so much for Israel. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah. So he already told us why we're here. We're here to learn how to design with Canva. But basically before that we have to learn what design is because you could use any tool to design. That's why it is important that that concept is first of all registered before you move on to designing. So I am going to share my screen and just let me know. Um, okay, can you see my screen? Let me try to present. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, clearly.
Okay, good. So what is design? You might already know, you might not know what design is, but design is all around us. We see design in nature, look at the flowers, look at the sunsets. We also see man-made designs like road signs, billboards, and all that. So design is basically creating, and a designer is like a creative that puts together different elements. You can see elements is underlined here. That's because I'm going to be talking more on that later on. So a designer basically brings together different elements and tries to arrange them in such a way that the purpose for which that design is created is met. So when you are designing, it's important that you have a purpose in mind. It's important that you're not just designing for, okay, you're just designing, but there is a reason. That's why you're going to that tool. That's why you're bringing elements together to craft a compelling visual that when people see it, maybe you want them to feel a certain way. Maybe you want them to understand something, they can see it and just do that. And your purpose could be like a birthday flyer or a church program flyer or a business card or whatever. Just ensure that you are going into that tool with a specific purpose in mind and you're bringing elements together, you're combining them to achieve that. And that's what takes us to like the elements of design. What are the elements? They're like the building blocks. It's like laying the foundation, bringing things together, putting things together, just like you would bring ingredients together when you want to prepare a meal, you also bring together elements to create a design. And that's why the first element we're talking about is a line. I'm sure you must have seen lines several times used in design. Yes, lines are show like a movement from one point to the other. When there is a line, it automatically tells you, oh, this is the way this is supposed to go. Your brain is designed to follow a line from start to finish. And that's why, for example, you're in a park, there's usually a sort of like a line showing like a path that you have to follow. And it will take you to the end of that line. It will take you to the end of that path. So that's what lines are. And we can see how lines were used in this particular design. There are different types of lines. And in this design, we can see how dotted lines were used. You could also use wavy lines. You could use straight lines. It depends on what you want to do in your design. That's why the purpose for which you're designing is very important. And you go into Canva with that in mind, such that when you're using it, you can convey what you want to convey across. And so the next element we're going to be looking at is shape. We all know what shapes are. They could be geometric, like we learned about squares, circles, triangles. Geometric just means that they are sort of defined. They are more defined. Organic shapes. Okay, sorry for that. Um, so geometric or organic. Again, why are you using a particular design? You would not expect that a sort of professional design would use a lot of organic shapes. Why? Because organic shapes can be funny to use. They don't look corporate. They don't look defi defined compared to geometric shapes. So just make sure that you choose the shape you're going to use in line with what you want to use it for. And shapes basically enclose a space. And that means you can use that space for something like I did in this, like I showed in this design. You can see that there's like a rectangle with rounded corners, and that created like some sort of space out of the normal design. The text could have just been placed on the background like that, but it would be sort of hard for the viewer to see that text properly, to see that that text is supposed to be like together in one area. That's why that shape was used to bring out, to sort of bring out the text so that it can be seen better. So that's why shapes are useful in design, right? They help us to enclose a space, and we can use that for anything. You can add whatever you want to add into that space. Now the next one is color. And I put here, what is life without color? Imagine a life where everything is just like bland. Maybe everything is maybe black and white or gray. How would we be able to distinguish things from another? And that's why it's also important as designers to utilize color the right way in your design, because different colors will evoke different emotions. So when you are designing, you have to know that, okay, I'm using this color is most likely going to bring about this effect when my viewers see. There's something that is popularly referred to as color psychology. And that's because when we see different colors, we tend to associate them with something. For example, when you see red, in some contexts, it could be like passion, love, or anger. It could even mean danger, right? Blue can be like calm, collected, and just chill, basically, right? And then green, nature, organic, farm, and so on. So you must learn how to not only choose color, but combine colors. Because when you combine colors too, another effect is evoked than you just using a plain color. So when you are designing, understand that color plays a crucial role, because you can't just be designing in white and black. No, you have to use colors, but in using them, you also have to learn how to use them right. So I am this course will be is some sort of like, I don't know, crash course sort of. So you can always learn more about colors. And I put here that when you look around you, when you see how people use colors, because most times, or let me say all the times, as designers, we are trying to okay, we are trying to imitate the natural world. So you wouldn't see people using a particular color for a particular purpose in real life. For example, people using black to signify sorrow, death, and then um you are bringing it into your design and trying to use it to fulfill another purpose. It doesn't work that way. So by studying how things work in the normal world around us, we can, get to know better how these colors would apply. And you can always keep learning more on how to use color, because trust me, there's always more to learn in designing. Now the next one is texture. And what's texture? Just like you would feel your clothing and you will feel, oh, this is cotton, this is nylon, this is that. There's usually this feel. You cannot feel a digital, thing physically, right? But when you see it, there is this feeling that it evokes in you, that you can be like, oh, this thing looks rough, this thing looks smooth, this thing looks coarse, this thing looks whatever way it might look like. So when you want to also evoke that feeling in your audience, you can also use some sort of texture. And most times we use texture in like as the background, right? It helps to give like depth to your design. Like you can see in this design, there's like a peppery texture that was used here to also, this must have been the feeling the designer wanted to evoke in the viewers, that okay, this looks some sort of like rough, crude, and so on, right? So that's what we use texture for. Another one is form. There are there are so many others, like so many other elements of design, right? But we might not be able to go through all of them, but just follow along as I mentioned some of the most crucial ones, right? So form is like the 3D, three-dimensional version of shape. While shape can just be length and breadth, form goes an extra mile to add like depth. And you will see things like shadow. What I mean by shadow is, for example, look at this place, how it is lightest, right? The top is like the lightest. And this part is like the darkest, showing like, okay, maybe the light is coming from the top. So by the side, there's like some sort of shadow, and that's why this place is darker. and also this place. Look at this shape also. Sorry. Yeah, look at this shape also. It's also showing, okay, there's like light here, and there's also like light here. There's like a shadow. Can you see the shadow here? So when you look at shapes like this, you don't just see plain, two-dimensional, or square, triangle, circle. There's like some extra layer to it. And looking at it like this, it's not like you can actually touch it, right? But you see it in that form where you can like touch it. It looks like a normal object to you, just like how shapes around us will look like. I mean, just like how objects around us will look like. I mean, we can't see objects around us that are in two dimension, right? We can't see squares around us. We can only see shapes that looks like, we can only see objects that look like squares, like a cube looks like a square sort of, but it's not a square. And that's what form does. Form helps to like show the real life, how things will look in real life. So when you add them to your design, people see how things will look in real life, right, on your design. Now the next one is space. So let the elements on your design breathe. Don't let them be choked together, right? So imagine if I just brought everything together, modeled up. Look at this text over here. Even though you might still be able to read it, but compared to other texts on this design, this text looks like, why is everything just choked up? I mean, we have gotten so used to, typing space, that we don't realize that we are actually designing some way, because you're trying to like space things on your maybe your documents or whatever you're doing. Same way, look at this design. Space was really used here. There's like space here between this and this, between this and this. And one thing you must realize when using space is that elements that are related should have like smaller space between them compared to elements that are not related, right? You make it seem like, oh, these elements are together, but even though they are together, there will still be some space between them, so that visibility can be enhanced. People can be able to see what you are doing more. People can be able to understand what you're doing, because there is no point designing. Like I said at the beginning, there must be a specific purpose in mind when you're designing, and there's no point designing where people cannot understand what you designed, when everything is just modeled up. The viewers that the design is intended for, they don't understand what you've designed, and so on. So it's important to like space out things. In design, sometimes we call that negative space. That's like space that you just leave out. I don't want any elements on this part of my design. For example, look at this area. I don't want any elements there. I just want it to be just there. Look at this side. So I don't want anything there. I just want it to be just there. Okay. Right? Yeah. And so the next one is typography. And this is basically text, how we communicate with text. And it's important to learn how to use text when designing, because the font you use can either make or mar your design. You think of if you're making a presentation, maybe your thesis presentation, and you went and used like a very handwriting font like that, and you just use like a very funny font, people will not take you serious, right? That's just an example outside of design, sort of. Also, when you are designing, fonts are like for specific purposes. Even Canva has sort of created like different categories where you can easily choose your font from, and you can decide, okay, I'm designing this today, so I need to use this type of font because it suits that purpose. So you choose font in line with why you're designing, and it's important to know how to combine fonts too, right? And one principle is that you shouldn't use more than 2 or 3 fonts on one particular design. And the reason is because when you begin to use different fonts are like handwriting, just like how normal people will write, how each person's handwriting is different from the other person's handwriting. And when you begin to bring different handwritings together, it's going to look like, what's going on here? Your viewer may become overwhelmed. So for the sake of unity, right? Unity is something I'm going to explain later on. For the sake of unity, you have to use, it's usually advised to use 2 or 3 fonts. Some situations might demand that you use more than, but mostly just stay under 3. You can stay with 2. And another way you can sort of modify your font that it wouldn't look like, it will look different, but it wouldn't be another font, is what I did here. You can make it bolder, you can italicize it. In that way, it might still look different. Maybe we want to create some sort of contrast. It might still look different, but you're still staying under 2 to 3 fonts. So I think that will be all on the elements of design. There's still more, but I will just keep it to these 7. And we're going to move now to the principles of design. Yeah. So I likened the elements of design to the ingredients that you combine when you're making a design. The principles is now how you combine those ingredients, how you bring them together. It's like the how of design. How do you make sure that the message you're trying to pass across stands out? How do you make sure that when people see your design, the first thing they see is what you want to be will register in their minds? So the principles of design will help with that. So there are more principles that I'm going to be sharing in this presentation. You can always read more on them, but I'm just going to limit it to the few that I have here. And the first one is balance. If it's not balanced, balance it. Yeah. So make sure that when you're designing, the elements are not just shifted to one side. Like you push every single thing to one side. No, make sure they are spaced across your design so that it can look uniform, right? It could be symmetrical. That's like, okay, when you try to divide your design into 2, imaginarily, you will see that on both sides, they are more or less, they're exactly the same elements on both sides. It could also be asymmetrical, where even though the elements are not the same on both, exactly the same on both sides, they are still balanced, right? Elements may be more on one side, but the elements on the other side are heavy enough to balance out the elements on the other side. Just like you're on a seesaw, you know what a seesaw is, right? And there are 2 people on it. So if there is a child on one side of the seesaw, you will need like an adult or someone of a bigger weight to be able to balance that child, so that child doesn't, like, I don't know, fall or whatever. And there's also radial symmetry, where it's like there's a circle and elements are just like emerging out of that circle to the exterior. So it's important that the visual weight is not too much on one side, but is balanced across your design. You try to imagine, okay, if I were to divide my design into 2, would the elements look equal on both sides, or I need to move some to this side or move some to the other side, right? Alignment is also important. You don't want your elements scattered across your design. You want them to maybe keep to the left, keep to the right, or stay in the center. And I think most times what I tend to use is like center alignment, and that's because it's easy. Let me confess, it's easier. But also it's depending on the image in the background, you want to look at it and make sure that things are not conflicting with each other, but they are just where they're supposed to be. You can shift to the right, shift to the left. Just make sure there's like a straight line and your elements are all, clustered around it, straight around it. Now, the next one is movement. And movement is how you try to guide your viewers across your design. You may try to create an imaginary line again that your viewers can, go through to be able to see different elements in your design. So when you create your design in a way that, okay, people see this first, then they see this next, then they see this next, then they see this next, That's like you creating movement. You're telling your viewers, okay, I want you to look at this. You don't verbally tell them, I want you to look at this first, I want you to look at this next. No, but your design will do a good job of being a great design if when everybody or almost everybody sees your design, you're able to say, okay, I saw this first, then I saw this next, then I saw this next, and they can be guided from detail to detail in your design. The next one is contrast. And a rule of contrast is there should be no blacks on blacks, and there should be no whites on whites. For example, there is a text I tried to put here, but you can see that this text can hardly be seen. I don't know if you will even be able to see, but there's a text here. And the reason is because this is a light text. The text is white, and then the background, the circle, is like cream in color, sort of. So it's hard to see the text. And that's a rule in design. You know, our human psychology, we find it hard to see things like this. You may be a superhuman and maybe you're able to read it fine, but for the average human, it's hard. Don't do this. You should put light on dark and dark on light so that people can be able to see and understand. Remember, the goal of designing is for your viewers to be able to understand the message you're trying to pass across, and they can feel what you want them to feel your design. So do not do this. And another example of contrast is also when you have like different elements placed together and their uniqueness shows forth because of how different those elements are. For example, look at this black beside this white. Look at even, sorry, this cream or white, whatever. And even look at this circle over this darker background, right? So contrast will allow you to be able to see elements distinctly without them being muddled up in each other. Now, the next one is hierarchy. Hierarchy is how you arrange your elements, the elements in your design, such that what you want to be seen first is what is seen first, and what you want to be seen next is what is seen next. So most times you will see that what you see first on most designs is like the title, and that's because the designer wants you to see the title first. Like this design in my background, I put interested in design. That's like the first thing you would mostly see because it's bigger than most other elements. It's bigger than other texts in the design. So here you would read this first before you read this, then this. I mean, people might decide to go the opposite order, but most times you would usually see what is bigger first, what is placed in like the highest position, sort of. You usually see that first before you see the next thing. And here I use size to show you that, okay, based on size, you can see one element before the other. And color is another way you can also distinguish between elements and create hierarchy. Another one is also position or whatever, because, for example, as humans, we tend to read from left to right, right? And that's why my description was placed here. You would see this first before you even go to see, oh, okay, this is what hierarchy means, right? Yeah. The next one is unity. I mentioned unity earlier, and I said I was going to explain more on that. And unity is basically making sure that all the elements in your design are in harmony, like they are one. Just like our unity normally means oneness, togetherness, and so on. Make sure that the elements in your design are one. You're not just bringing one random element and throwing it into your design without it, being harmonized with other elements in your design. And so you achieve unity by maybe using the same color, the same size, the same shape, and so on. And that's why this light green circle here seems out of place. Like, where did you come from? Because other circles are round, are bigger, and they are black. But this one just came in and like, oh, actually, you could use this to create interesting designs. You could use this in other ways. Like someone I know would usually say that you can break the rules in design. As long as you know the rules, you are free to break them in some instances. And that's what might make your design interesting. Like you just wow people and people will be like, wow, I wasn't expecting this. but usually is like safer to stick to the rules of design. But in some instances, you can break the rules. I could just add this here and use it to create some sort of, oh, okay, some sort of element of surprise and things like that. But most times it's better to just keep your elements harmonized in one. And finally, repetition. And repetition, they usually say, is for emphasis. You can also use repetition to make sure that people are focused on one thing. For example, in this design, you can see what is written here. Even though you can't see this completely, you automatically know that this is August, right? This here is August. And this was repeated 4 times throughout the design. And why is that? To create some sort of emphasis, like, oh, this is August, this is August, this is August, this is August. Yeah, so you use repetition to send the message you're trying to pass across. To send is like, I want you to see this. You're telling your viewers, I want you to see this, I want you to see this, I want you to see this, right? And it draws their attention to that. So that would be all for the elements and principles of design. And up next, we're going to go to the live Canva designing. As Bro Israel has said, you can put your questions or anything in the chat. And yeah, I will just call in the next person. And that's yeah, the next person will be taking us on live Canva designing. We're going to be designing live on Canva. So all the designs you see here were all made on Canva. Like, so much can be done with Canva. And they were made by this person that is going to take us on the next session. So I want you to pay attention, because you will get so much. Like, as been said from the beginning, you get so much from this. And you can begin to unleash that creative power in you, because every one of us, either you like it or not, before I used to think, okay, designing is not for me, or it's just for some people. Every one of us, we are creatives. We are the creatives. God created us so we can also create. I said designing is creating from the very beginning when I started this presentation. So we can all create, and we can unleash that creative side of us, and we can begin to do great things for God, for ourselves, for people around us. And yeah, I'll end it on this note. Thank you.
All right. Hello everyone. I don't know, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
We can
Yes,
hear
we can hear you.
Right. I'm Daniel, and I'll be taking the live discussion from now, the live designing from now. So let me share my screen. You know when you can see it. So, like, it was brief with me. So we're going to start from the very beginning. That is creating a Canva account. If you are here and you do not have a Canva account yet, basically all you have to do is go to Canva and you're able to sign up here. I already have my account, so if I try and sign up, it's just going to take me back. So use your email, your whether Yahoo Mail or Apple Mail or your Apple ID or your Gmail, so that you can easily have access to it later. So, and once you do that, this is where you are. This is the home page you are going to be provided with. Let me zoom so you can be. You're going to have this interface as the basic thing you're going to get first. Then the other design interface is what you're going to have later on. There's the free account. I have to mention that there's the free account, and there's very limited to some functions and features that you have provided in the pro account. So currently I'm on the pro account. Some of the things I might be doing will only be available for the paid account, but I'm going to make sure I show you guys the one that is free and paid. So first, you have your own page. We don't have too much time, so I'm not going to be able to dive deep into some of the things that are here. But first, we have the home page and the left panel here, the Magic Studio project, templates, brand kits, and apps. So basically, home page is where you have everything together. All these things that you can see here is also present here in the home page when you scroll. I'm going to be explaining it and the designs that have been shared to you. Media team, let's say share a design to you. As you can see, it is categorized when it is, and start the stuff that have been shared. Design. If you scroll down, you're going to see a bunch of designs that have been created by to make it of a template. All you need to do is click on it and edit. You can change the color you can for something. Let's say because of the gathering, then I'm going to be showing you essentially how you can edit the design. So I'm going to be selecting this. Then we can come back to it later when I explain everything here. So this is the design that I explain how it can be edited and how the left table here for pro users. This is where let's say you have a brand, you have your logo, you have your colors, you have the text, the brand font and all that. This is my own particular, this is my brand kit. As you can see here, I have not uploaded any logo, but you can see the colors that I use for my brand. And so when you're designing, you do not necessarily have to start putting the X code for every colors every time. Once you have your brand kit set up, you can easily get your images, your logo, the colors. These are the colors here. You can have your font here, images, and this is the photos I have for my brand kit. I'm trying as much as possible to rush everything so I can get to the design part. So for apps, we have integrations from other websites. Essentially, what they do is Canva has integrated them into their ecosystem. So you can make use of this other external website. We have AI as well. You can make use of those AI if a designer, you do not know the copy to use. What you have to do is with a click, you can easily have the AI write a bunch of copies for you, and you can make use of those copies in your design. So that's basically what the app does. So if I click on app now, I'm going to see a bunch of integrations that we have. Normally in Canva, you cannot make 3D text, but with this integration in Canva, you can make use of text. Yeah, you can make 3D text. Now, as you can see now, this is the text maker and this is the 3D text. What you have to do is if you select this text maker, you put in whatever text you need, and it's just going to make it into a 3D. You can see from the illustration here, you can change the colors, the color combination, and all that. So these are the things that you can do with an integration that is not necessarily possible within Canva. So I'm going to go back to home and we'll be going to create a new design, which is the most important part of designing. So we have create a new design. I have to say this, normally in the introduction to Canva interface and everything, it's going to be way, way, way longer than this, probably a day to do it, but I only have 45 minutes, so I have to rush. The next thing to do basically is to create a new design. If you do not have, if you do not know the dimension to use for your designers, most beginners do not. What you can do is just search. Just say you're trying to create an Instagram post, you search for Instagram posts. And what Canva will do is it's going to give you the dimension. You can see we have the portrait and we have the square. On Canva now we have the portrait dimension, and this is the 1080 by 1350. You click on it and it's just going to automatically take you to a blank sheet or a bunch of templates that are in that dimension as well. So if you see a template that catches your interest, you just go ahead and edit. But if not, you create a design from scratch. We have the square one as well. And we have a bunch of other dimensions, the story, the profile picture. Let's say you want to create a book cover design. You see the dimension here. This is the dimension we have for the landscape, we have for portrait, we have for square, we have for different dimensions. So what you need to do is just search for it if you do not have the dimension, and you click on it and you can start creating your design. So normally, since we are trying to create an Instagram post design, we can go to the custom dimension here and put in your dimension 3200 by 3200. Now, normally the dimension is 1080 by 1080, but I have in the past I've used the 3200 by 3200, and everybody comes to meet me every time that why is the quality of my design very high? And that's because I do not use the normal dimension. What really matters is that your dimension is square. Each side are equal. So if you even use 5000 by 5000, if you post on Canva, if you post on Instagram, it's going to be published because what is same square, nothing is going to be affected. What will happen is that the quality of the design will be very, very higher as opposed to using 1080 by 1080. So you can use 3200, you can use 5000 by 5000. And because I have a paid account, whenever I'm even designing, I increase the dimension I create my design by 1.5 so that the quality is way even higher. And eventually I have something like 4800 by 4800. So what you do now here is create a new design. We have the width as 3200 by and the height as 3200. The unit here, you can change it from pixels to inches to millimeters to centimeters. Let's say you're trying to create something for print. Most times I work with inches when I'm trying to create for print. The printer might give you a dimension in feet. What you can do is go to your Google and convert whatever feet dimension to inches, and you can change the stuff here to inches. So I'm going to change back to pixels. So you create a new design, simple as that. Then I'm going to be switching tabs. I just wanted to show you how you can create a new design. And this is the interface you have to start creating your designs. what I'll be doing here is going to be basically here, because to save time, I've kind of created a design from scratch so I can explain it to us. So the template, about the template here, this is the template there. I said I was going to be teaching you how you can edit it. Now we have a bunch of text here. We have something here. We have an element here, an image. So basically, if you're okay with this image, you can change the text to whatever text you want. Let's say service, what you want here. You basically change the text to service. You can change the color to red. Sorry, come in. You can change the color here to red. You can change it to blue. You can change it to yellow, but make sure it's visible. As we have been explained to earlier today, that light colors should not be on light colors. Dark colors should not be on dark colors. If you are going to be using a dark color, you can see it's not visible because the background itself is dark. So you have to make sure there's contrast between the elements you are combining together. All the elements that you can see on this particular image is light because what the image itself is dark. So we have our location, you can change the location, you can change the timing. And I think editing template is as simple as that. It's basically changing the information to what you already have. Please, if you have questions, you can just put it or unmute yourself and ask directly. So I'm going to be going directly to our designs here. I'm trying to, yes. This is the design I created already to explain so that I will reduce the time spent in the creative process of having to choose fonts and everything. So I'm just going to be starting from scratch and explaining to you how we can do it. So normally when you create a new page, it's going to be in white. That's the default that Canva provides for us. But for this particular design, I decided to change the color to something darker. The default colors that you're going to have in Canva are these colors, and I just selected this particular gray color, this particular color. And so if you're trying to, because I'll be expecting that we create this design, this is the export for the color. You can just put in the details in your color selector here. This is the color selector. Put in the details there, and let's say, for instance, let me change this color to. Let me copy this so you can see what I'm talking about. The X code is E2, E2, E2. Let's say this is originally in red. And I'm trying to change the color to the background color to this particular one. And I do not have it yet because it's not my recent color. Go to the color picker here and you put in the details and it's changed immediately. Simple as that. If you do not want it, you can manipulate it here. But we do not know that, so I'm going to undo here. Ctrl Z. You can either use the space here or here. So to undo it. So I wanted to put in an overlay to kind of a texture, yes, a texture on the background so that it doesn't look plain as a normal background I use. So what I did is to search for a white background. A white background. Go to see all here. See photo section here. Go to see all and I scroll down and this particular image is what I chose. So you adjust the image across your design and interface and you enlarge it until it fits. So I increase it so that you see when you see the red smudge or the adjustment, it just stop. That means it's accurate already. So that a part of the background color that we chose initially can be visible underneath this texture. I'm going to use a transparency to let's say 40. So I think this is okay. Then you can lock it. This what this lock means is that once you lock it, it is not going to be movable again. So when you're adding your other elements and design, it's not going to tamper with it because it cannot move. You have locked it. So the next thing that I did was add, as you can see here, you see this lightning. So what I just did basically was to search for lights. Search for light and I adjusted the color. Let's go to see all. It is I went to see all here, so you can see all the type of lights that we have. So I picked this particular one, but I wanted it to be brighter. This yellow. I don't like the yellow around this. So what you can do is go to your edit image. Please, if I'm moving too fast, let me do. You go to your edit image here. like I said, some of these functions are for paid accounts. You can see this background remover is for paid account, a paid account, paid account, paid account, paid account. When you see the crown icon, that means it's for only pro users. But the particular thing I'll be using is not for pro users, so we can select it. This is it. It comes under the FX effect, and you select the duotone. The duotone, you choose a custom, just choose one of the duotones and you can edit the colors. So the color I wanted to use is this particular color. Coming, going to put in this here again so I can edit it. So I wanted the thickness, this dark side around this element here to be this particular one, so it can be more brighter. So I'm going to go to edit image here, click on the dual tone here. You can see this is the combination for this particular element now. So I'm going to click on the first one, and you can see this color picker here. You can see this color picker here. Select the,
We can
move
see
this
it.
across. Yeah? Can you still see my screen? Hello?
Yes, we can see your screen.
I'm confused. What's happening? Can you still see my screen?
No, we can't see
Nothing.
it again now.
We were seeing it earlier.
So can anyone hear me?
Oh, yes, we
Yes, we
can.
can
Can
hear
you?
you.
Yeah. Can you see me? Can you see the screen now?
No, we can't.
No, no, no.
This is see.
I guess there's a technical problem, but in no time, our brother is going to be back. Please stay tuned.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. So, as I was saying, what I'm trying to do is to change the kind of manipulate the element and change the colors that are there. So, what I'll be making use of is the color picker here. As you can see, the color picker here, I'm going to be moving it around this original element and pick the lighter part for the outside area. So, I'm going to be picking this particular one for the outside area. Then for the inner part, I'll pick a more lighter color. Let's say something like this. And that's too light. Okay, I think there's an error here. This one here should be the interchanging the colors here. And this one should be like that part there. Okay. So I don't need this again, so I'm just going to delete this. place it across the design here and just adjust it somewhere here, just to kind of create the difference in the background. Remove the excess parts here. And duplicate this as well. No, I'll leave this until later. Then I can add it when I'm done with the design for this part here. So the next thing I did was to bring in my text. I'll log this as well, so I'm able to move it. Go to text here. You can see. Let me explain this on time. When you create your space for your design, you have a bunch of functions at the left side of left panel of the design. We have the design here, elements, text, the brand kit, uploads, the draw, project, and apps. So the design here is basically also templates. Canva is trying to introduce a template to you as well, so you can probably design with it and they make money. The creators make money from it. We have the elements here is basically searching for anything that you want to add to your design. We have the text, we have the brand kit that I've explained. In the home page, we have uploads. If you want to import something from outside Canva, like this the logo here, I have to download it from outside Canva and upload. I'll show you how you can do that. We have the project, we have photos, apps, and all that. We will not be most likely not be needing that for this video. So the next thing I'm doing now is the text. So what I'm going to do is add a heading. And what we're adding first is the joint service. So joint and service. So for the joint, the font I used is the Bright Retro. And the font is available in the display font, and you can just search for joints for Bright Retro and you'll be able to get this exact font. I'm going to be increasing this font a little bit bigger, then duplicate this and write service. Then making this service a little bit smaller than the joint. As you can see here, I reduce the spacing of the text here to, let's say, about -12. I'm just going to copy this -12 here and add it to the spacing here. So something I need to mention again, as we are designing, I'll be mentioning bits of we have this part here and a bunch of other functions for the effect for text here. So what we do in this space here is, let's say you want to change the font that you have used. Once you click on this space here, then you have the opportunity to either search for the font you're looking for or go through this say catalog or categories to look for the font you're looking for, to get the font you're looking for. And here we have the minus and the plus. So it is basically reducing the font size or increasing the font size. You can either put in the figures manually, let's say put in the figure 40 manually. We have the text color here. You can change the color, add a new color here by using the X code, or you go through the default colors that are available, black and white. And this is bold. For this particular font, we do not have the function for bold, but we have the function for italics. We're not going to make use of this. And as our previous instructor has mentioned, we have alignment. So you can either make use of the left alignment, the equal side alignment, we have the right side alignment, or the center alignment. We have the bullet points, numbers, and whatnot. And this is spacing I'm trying to make use of now. Spacing is basically we have either letter spacing or line spacing. So for instance, for these letters, if I reduce this backwards, you can see that the each letters, the SEVICE, is being collapsed together. You can increase it. So the default is 0, but for this particular text box, I want to make it the default -12, so that the spacing between each letter is not too much. So I'm going to move this closer a bit to the joint, trying to make sure we have something similar. So for the joints, because I am trying to just emphasize on the kind of design I'm creating, I changed the T in the joint to a cross signage. So let's search for cross here. You can make use of any cross, but I wanted to use let's see the exact cross I used. Mm. Sadly, I can't exactly find the exact font the cross I use, but we can still make use of this. Um, just okay. I think what I use was plus actually. Let's see plus. Yeah, so this is what I use. You can either make use of cross or pluses. So put this here down a bit just to replace the T for the joint. So I wanted this in another color. So I wanted this in another color. I'll be discussing that later. So you can group this and adjust it. Yeah. So the next thing I did was because I noticed that I needed to start changing colors and I needed a logo to kind of come up with the colors I'll be making use of the design. Because if you have a logo, it's very important that you make sure the colors that you use is within the particular branding for the company or for the church or so. I searched for Paper Life logo and this is what we have. I'm picking the first one because it's the official logo. The other ones, I don't think they are completely accurate. So I'm just going to select this here and click on right click and download the same way you download images online. So when you have, yeah, save it. Save to your downloads. So go back to what I'm designing and you can see it's already in the downloads. Click on it, drag it, and it automatically switches to the uploads. Then you drop it. So when it is uploaded, because it's a transparent background already, you do not need to move the background. So once you have it uploaded, you click on it and adjust to where you want the logo to be, either big or small, and place it somewhere. So I place it here, and because the logo already has the colors, I do not need to bother about what color to use, which I'll group this. I just went to the plus icon and I needed to change the color to the red on the logo. Go to the color section here. Go to like the color picker. I had a new color like I mentioned, and go to the color picker. So this color picker will give you the ability to like move around the logo and select the color that you want. So I just wanted this color. And when you click on that particular page, it automatically chooses the color for you. So we already have the joint service, and I think this is kind of too big, which I'll just do it. Just leave it as it was before. What I'm going to do is going to move this down a bit. So we already have the joint service already. And the next thing that I did was to have write the Sunday here. So I did not want to use a normal straight straight edge box and just put the Sunday on top of it. I wanted something a little bit rough at the edges. So I just searched for paper tone effect. Like that you should get paper tone effect here. And you can see you're going to be getting a bunch of ripped sides or rough edges paper effect. So I'm just going to scroll down and I'll pick this particular one. So pick this particular one and I change the color to the blue on the. So what I'm doing now is zooming in. I'm going to pick the blue on the logo. So this is one of the blue here. Select it, and this is the X code. So you move it around here. Adjust it here first, then move it up. So the next thing I did was go back to the text box and bring in a text to put Sunday. Change this particular Sunday to all caps. So normally your all caps will be here, but it's not here. If you see it's not here, that means the functions that are here is too much and it cannot be accommodated. So you go to more, these three dots here. go to model, you can see your uppercase, your strike through, your underline, the same functions as this basic one here. So I'm going to change it to uppercase. And I'll change our font here. Go to Canvas Sounds here, search for Poppins. So you can either make use of Poppins or you make it or make use of Montserrat. So I'm going to be using Poppins for this particular design, particular text rather. Increase the letter spacing a little bit and change our color to white. So there we go now. So for this paper effect, I want to have a shadow underneath, but the shadow is not going to be blurred, it's going to be white. So what you do is when you are trying to do something different from the basic function that you have in Canva, you go to your edit image and see if whatever you're trying to do here is available. So I see what I'm trying to do now is the shadow. There are two ways you can apply shadow to your to this, but I'm going to be making use of the automated one and not the manual one. I'm going to be showing you both ways. So the shadow here. So we have the glow shadow, we have the drop shadow, we have the outline shadow, we have the cover, all the shadows that they've been sampled already. So the drop shadow is what I'm going to be using because I do not want the outline shadow that is just going to put the effect, the shadow outside around all the paper effects. So I want something that's just going to be slanted to the other side. So I'm going to be blur is as it means blur normally is going to be blurring out the shadow. So I'm going to move in the blur completely, going to be increasing, changing the angle a little bit till I see that I'm okay with what it is doing. Let me zoom in so you can see. Going to be increasing the distance a little bit, and I'm going to reduce the intensity. Reduce it so that it can be, or no, rather, sorry, increase the intensity so it can be visible. And I'll change the color to white. So that's that. We're going to reduce the width of this, like I've placed it at the center. You can see these dotted lines. So that's the Canva automation, the AI that's telling you that okay, it's already night is at the center of the element, and night is at the middle of the element. So when you see that it gives you that sign, then you know that it is accurate. So you can, if you're using a laptop, you can just long press on your left key on your mouse or your keypad on your laptop, then scroll across both elements, then you can group it. You see this group. So once you group it, you can move them together. But if you're using a mobile phone, you see this some sort of like a three dots. Once you click on it, you're able to see select element. I don't know if it's available on the laptop version, but on the phone, you select elements and select the first one and the second one, then group. Which you use the size of this and place it somewhere here, somewhere. So the next thing I did was to basically put in a placeholder for the day and person that is ministering, but I did not add in details until much later after I added the notes, just to kind of know I'm going to adjust the other element on design to create space. So what you can do now is I just use the same element. So it's what they call consistency in design. If I'm using a ripped effect here, I cannot go to create a design and I'm not using smooth edges. I mean, you can break rules as they've said, you can break rules, but it's still within wherever. So just kind of make use of this type of element. I cannot just say I want to use the straight edges and when I do something that's with here. So I'm not going to be making use of this. Just going to make use of this here, put it somewhere here and duplicate it. Change this color to the blue here and duplicate, put in this red here. What red did I use? This red. Then use this red here. Then you can move it and put it somewhere here. So as for that, sorry, please, if you have questions on me, let me know. So the next thing I did was to search for frames. So frames is basically something that allows you to put down images in a confined space. So wherever shape the frame comes in is what your image will, the shape of your image will take. You can see what is here. This is basically a frame that I put in an image inside and the image automatically took in the shape of a frame. So let's go to our elements here. Like I said, elements is basically searching for anything within Canva. So if you click on if you search for anything that comes to your head, Canva is most likely going to give you a result for it. If it's not the exact result you're looking for, it's going to give you something very similar. So I'm going to search for frames now. And these are frames, but this is not what I need. So I'm going to go to the see all Then I'm going to scroll down. So now we have seen something like what we need. That's the ripped edges. So if you scroll down, I see a bunch of other samples. But what I need is exactly this particular one here. So I'm going to select it. So I need it to start from somewhere around here. Then I can adjust later to somewhere around the other edge here. But you can see it is coming out of the design. So what I can do is just reduce the size. Put here. Let's move this up a little bit. And this one up a little bit. Then this can stay here. Use this a bit. And position. Okay, I don't know if I've explained positioning. So positioning is about if you don't want to adjust something manually till it gets perfect. You can see this is center now, but if you don't want to go through that stress, you can just basically go to positioning and put it at the center of the whole design. So you can see now the frame is in the center now. So what I did next was to search for is it church worship? Yes, church worship. So once you search for that, you can see the photo section. You go to see all. Either you click on see all here, or you come to photos here. So I scroll down and I saw this particular image because I needed something that did not have too much color. You can either make use of this one, press Ctrl Z for undo. Either you click this one. I double tapped on the frame to adjust the image. Either I click on this one or you can make use of any other frame. It's basically it's left to you. If you want to make use of this, you can. Yeah, I actually would have also liked this one because of the blue similarity it has with this blue. So you can make use of that, or we just go to our black. Yep. Double tap again to adjust it. Let's move this. Yeah. So I'm making use of the arrow on your keypad my keyboard to move this thing up a step at a time. If you're not using your laptop, you can make use of the nudge in your mobile phone. There's a nudge where if you check your Canva app, you see nudge, you can use it to move it one by one, a step at a time. So I'm going to adjust this a little bit up. This. I don't have enough space again. Yes, that's that. The next thing is to arrange the details. I'm not going to be arranging the details in design because I think it's pretty simple to arrange details. So what I did is just like select a text box here, put your text, select the text box, change. The font I used was League Gothic. So League Gothic. To League Gothic, and I just put in Sunday, 3rd of January. Copying the text here. I'm going to copy paste it here. So you can see this is in smaller case, and you want to change it to uppercase, like I mentioned initially. You go to the more and you change to uppercase here. Change the color as well to white. So going to be adjusting this, zoom in, and adjust this so it fits within the space provided. I have to use it so I can put in the line. Change this thing to left aligned rather. So it's a left aligned now. So the next thing I did was to put in a time. So I had a little bit body text and we put in time. I change it to the left aligned as well. So I can reduce the width here. Reduce it. Then you can adjust somewhere around there. Then I change the color to yellow. So this particular, this is the X code for the yellow FFD032 or D032, D0 rather, 32. Then I duplicate this again because I do not want the time to be in yellow. I duplicated it as well, and I put in the time. What time did I use here? 8 a.m. EST. So it's just a random time. 8 a.m. EST. You can change this color to white. Change that is not selected, change to white. Yes. So then because I want to group in these details and make sure that the details together are within the center of the space. I'm going to lock this particular one so that when I like right and left press and move around, it doesn't move. This one doesn't move. You can see when I'm trying to move this, selecting the cross. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock the cross as well. So now I can move and it's only going to select the details that I wanted the detail to select. I'll group this and then I can adjust manually. You can see now at the center of it. So what I do next is also for this detail here. I'm going to be writing width. For the width, I wanted it to be like some sort of handwriting font. So I don't have the handwriting font in my head when I started designing. So I just went to handwriting here. Then I went through some of the fonts that are available in the handwriting. I was in between the Brittany font here and the Holiday font here. So I eventually went for the Brittany because it had a lot more curves and length. So I'm going to be using the spacing in between each text of the width a little bit because it is already very close, just a little bit. Yes, and I'm going to change this to white. White. So let's put it somewhere here. You can see the line, the edge of the S is CANVA is telling the same edge with the W. So immediately once you see that, you have to stop because that means this it is on a straight line. I can reduce the size of this to like let's say 120. And adjust to the center again. Yes. So the pastor's name, going to bring in a text box. This is also going to be what Boye David, Pastor Boye David. That's just a name that's completely made up. So Boye, or is it David Boye? I think David Boye. So David Boye. I'm going to be making it left aligned as well. We're going to reduce the width so that the pastor is what is on top. Pastor Boye, yeah. So I go to spacing, like I mentioned, go to spacing. It's going to reduce the line spacing. So line spacing, what line spacing does is that reduces the space in between Pastor and David Boye. So when you reduce it, David Boye moves closer to Pastor. So I'm going to make this bold, and I change the Pastor, the color to yellow, while I leave the rest in black. Now reduce the size and adjust it so that it stays beside the width and not on top of the width. So just adjust it somewhere. So I'm going to leave this in 57. I don't like the point 57 and that. Yeah, I think we're getting somewhere. Let me zoom in to see what I've created so far. Okay. So I think the next thing I just kind of added was is this lightning. So I mentioned that we're going to add the lightning data on. I'm going to duplicate this lightning here, duplicate it here, flip it. It says flip. The reason why I'm flipping is because if you remember, I reduced the width initially for this particular one, so it's going to create a cutout at the side. So and we cannot leave it like this, it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to flip it so that the side that is not cut out will be the one that is visible. So you can see, although there's still a small cutout here, I'm going to increase the width so that it's not more visible. Okay. So this is good. I'm going to shift it a little bit here. Yeah. So the next thing that I did was this little details here. I can see the revival our whatever details there in 2024 first Sunday. Yeah. I'm going to move here. I'm going to write revival. Sorry, do we have any questions? I don't think I've heard anyone say anything. I don't know. Revival hour, change it to the bright ratio that we had. So we're going to reduce the spacing of the bright teeth row, letter spacing, so they can move closer to each other. So like I said, you can see the space between the arrival and hour is too much. So I'm going to make use of the line spacing as well. Reduce the line spacing so the hour can move to the arrival. Yes. So the next thing is to reduce the width of the text box, the excess space, and I will use the size to the barest minimum. Not the barest minimum, to what I need essentially. So I make sure that the line at this side here is equal to the one here. So what you can do is most people would not have this guides and ruler in their Canva account. What you can do is go to file and go to settings and you go to show rulers and guides, or you just do Shift R. So what this do is that you can come here and you can move in some sort of ruler so that when you place at the edge here, you can see when I place at the edge here, it stays. So that I know when this thing is accurate. You can see the 289 here on top. That means it's accurate now. So I leave it like that because it is at the same line with the edge here. I do not want something coming outside there. You see, that's very horrible. So I'm going to put this here and align it. Align it again, yes, align now. Then the next thing I did is to put in a text wrap around the arrival hour. So what I did was to write the 2024 first Sunday 2024 rather. First Sunday, 2024 first Sunday, yes. Anyhow, 2024 first. Change the font to our pop-ins because you have to make sure we're not using different kind of fonts. The maximum number of fonts you can use normally should be 3, but in some cases you can use more than 3. Like in this design, I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4. But this one is because it's not so major. These ones are not so major in the design. That's why it's acceptable. The normal font, the evident fonts that you're using is just pop-ins and this bright picture. Others are just touch. Really just made use of this one once and this one once. So it's not really affecting anything. We change this to all uppercase. We reduce the size, increase the spacing. So first, before I do that, before I increase the spacing, I'll go to effect. See effect. Yeah, effect. So we have the normal shadow, lifts, and outline, and other type of effect. But the effect I'm using is the shape effect, and that's the curve. So it still is. I'm coming at this part. So the effect now, I'm going to be increasing the curve. So as you can see, as I put the curve to the edge, kind of circles it together. But I do not know that yet because I need the text spacing as well. So what I'm going to do is basically, so you can see letter spacing. So you can see I'm increasing the letter spacing and it is coming closer itself. Do this, reduce the size, and also do the curve. So then I can move this here. But as you can see, the letter spacing is too much. It's going to be a problem. This thing is also visible. Move this thing back. Use letter spacing a bit. And then I do the curve thing back. Yes. So let's move this all the way down. So yeah, this is basically it. This is kind of too big than the normal one I did. It's going to take us a very, very long time to adjust it. A long time to adjust it. So I'm just going to leave it like this. So what you can do is just put them together and just manually. So let's leave it like this. So that was that for that. And the next thing is basically picking out location details. That will not be a problem because that's basically writing. So what I did for this one is the location and yeah, the icons I can see here. For the location, I'm going to lock this back. Lock this back. So you go to your elements here, search for location. Location, go to see all. I use this particular pin drop or whatever they call it. We do not have so much space again here. Space management tools. So pin drop is selected it already. Put it somewhere around here. Yeah. So then we go to text. Yeah, we have here the little bit body text. So the text I'm going to be writing, I'm going to select this the text here, just copy. I just search for the headquarters in Lagos, the location. So copy and paste it here. So this is the raw. This is what you're going to get normally. Then you can start changing everything. You change to poppings here. You bold in all the text here. Then I reduce the spacing of the text. That's spacing something like this. Yes. Then I reduce the width as well. So and the alignment, yes. Then line spacing as well too. Yeah. So the size is only going to be 2 lines. Then you can reduce the size. Then we have this here, reduce the size a little bit more. Then we have the location here. The next thing I did was to arrange the icons. So I'm not going to be arranging all the icons now. I'm just going to copy and paste. But what you can do is you search for Instagram, the icons here, and whatever icon that the social media, the church has or wherever you're designing for, whatever icon they have, whatever social media accounts they have, just need to search for the name and arrange the icons. So this is an Instagram icon. You click on it, you adjust till you're okay, and you just arrange it. You arrange it and arrange the rounds. So just going to copy and paste the group. Just copy and paste this lock this one over. Copy and paste this particular details here. You do not have all the time again. And I paste it here. So for this as well, I use the poppins for the handle, and this one is poppins as well. I use the letter spacing as you can see here, and the line spacing. So what I did here was just to search for arrow. So all I did here was search for arrow, and picked one of the one in the graphics section, and this is it here. Yes, this is the particular arrow, and I changed the color to much red. So that's basically that about I created this design. I'm going to be so you can see what we eventually did. So this is the design that we created, and we are done with this particular process. So now you know, they mentioned something like assignment. I don't know if you have any questions now. If I don't know if anybody even was hearing me at all, please, if you have questions, can you please ask now? Hello? Wow.
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I think Bro Israel can take over now.
Yep. So thank you so much for this.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, 15 minutes, yeah. So please, we are done already. And I don't know, do we have any questions so I can answer them now?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to ask. Please. Do we have questions? But before we get in the questions, maybe some people are already typing. Maybe some people don't just want to voice out now. I want to appreciate you for the wonderful session. There's a lot that's that I've been able to learn also, and I'm very sure that a lot of people have learned many things here. But I have a question actually. The
Okay.
question is about I said earlier when we started that okay, there is some premium package for Canva, right? And
Yes.
from the design you made, from this nice bill you made, I just wanted to ask because I was actually following every step, but I saw some things you took out from the templates that are available here from all those shapes, figures, and so on. There are some crown on some of those things, and I think it's only available for those that
Okay.
have subscribed. My question
Yeah,
is,
let me see. I don't think I use any element that is paid actually. I think probably what I would have used that would have been paid for is the image. Let me search for it and let me see. I do not think it's paid for. It's free. The image is free. Aside that, there's
okay,
really nothing that would have been paid for. Yeah, maybe this element. I don't think so. If it's this element, there are alternatives you can use. It doesn't have to be this one compulsory.
okay,
There's really nothing here. Yeah.
okay. And my second question is about um you got this logo from the internet and then you
Mm-hmm.
placed it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for someone like me who enjoys using different icons, I don't know if there is a lot of icons that can be used here, but there's this freepik.com, I guess, where you can get different kinds of icon. So
Yeah.
I'm asking now that can those icons also be brought in like the way this logo was brought in?
Yeah.
And
Yes. Yes. Yes.
does it have
Anything
to
you can
be,
upload anything.
and it does not have to be um a paid account, right? You can upload anything from
No, it
from
doesn't.
anywhere.
It doesn't. It doesn't. You can upload images, you can upload videos, you can upload audios as well. Let's say you're trying to add audio because I also edit videos with Canva. So I was trying to edit something and I had to upload audio. And so if you upload audio, it's going to be in your Canva account and you can make use of the audio. Videos as well, icons, any kind of icon, anything that you can download, you can upload it in Canva.
Yeah, that's lovely. My
Yeah.
last question is since you just made mention of audio and video, that means that
Yes.
I can actually use Canva to also create content for Pinterest,
Yes.
or
Yes. Yes.
because on Pinterest you see a lot of contents too that you with
Yes.
videos with audio.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
But today we only did that of images, which is quite nice. As and the way you taught us for these images, I think it's not going to be so difficult also for videos. Like it's going to be almost the same pattern, right?
Yes, to upload. Is
We
it to upload images or to
upload and to
design?
add it, yeah, to the design.
Yeah,
Upload.
it's not a big deal. What you just need to just download the audio and you upload it. Simple. Just drag and drop. That's all.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Or
Thank you so much.
there are other ways you can actually upload something. You do not
All
necessarily
right.
need to download. If you have it on your laptop already, you have it on your
Okay.
laptop already. Let's say you go to your music file and you just click on this, like this one, and you upload. It's just going to upload to your audio. As simple as that. You can see it's uploaded. Yes, if it's a video, you just go to your upload files, click on what you're looking for. If it's a document, funny how even documents, let's say you have a document on that you created previously, you can upload it to Canva and edit that particular document. I've used Canva numerous times when I don't know how any other website to edit something. I will edit that document and put my signature that I've drawn somewhere. I just upload it to remove the background and I'll put that signature on that document. So like you can edit anything you can upload to your Canva account, you can edit it. So Canva can just kind of like select the text and you can even edit the text on that document. So it's pretty simple.
Thank you so much. I don't think I have any questions anymore.
All
I
right.
think I've exhausted all the questions I've got. And looking at the chat box, box to okay. Kolade said,
Okay.
thank you for the teaching. We got the process, but I think we need to work the recording again to replicate the design, of course, because
Okay, I think that was mentioned that you were supposed to be designing as I don't think that would have been visible because time would have been
because
a
of the timing,
constraint.
actually. Yes, time is a
Yeah,
very big
I
constraint.
had this is like the fastest class I've ever been. The
Yeah,
fastest.
and
So
I really have to appreciate you for that because you you maximize the time because I know that it takes a lot of time to actually put these things together, even if you want to do it yourself. Now, let alone
exactly,
training someone else. So it's going to take much more time trying to train someone else. So we
exactly.
appreciate your efforts in trying to put all of this together, even though some of us couldn't just follow through. But like we said, the recording is available, so everybody can still come back later and check it out
Okay,
and then replicate what you've done for us. This is very
all
lovely.
right.
We really commend you. We appreciate you and our dear sister Dorcas too. Do we still have any question from anybody before we wrap up?
Mine is just a commendation, not a question. I just want to commend the two, what's it called, the two speakers. So I want to really appreciate you for.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much for the
And
appreciation.
just like
We are listening to you.
so I was just trying to buttress what Bro Kolade also said, that we still need to go back to the video because not until when we start trying, that's when probably we might have genuine questions to be able to ask. Um, to be able to
Mm.
ask the what's it called, the moderator. So when I just believe that I just want to probably maybe this one should be the maiden edition. Probably we can still have a follow-up edition of this
All
what's it
right.
called, this, so that we can actually relate.
I don't know if it is my network, but I couldn't really pick many things that you said. But from what you said maybe we can also have another session sometime in the future. Of course, we'll be
Yes.
looking into that. But I think the assignment that has been given unto us is to just replicate these things that have been done.
Yeah. I would
Just
love to see the result that you guys come up with. The result that you
yes.
come up with.
But can we have this the
The
template
design.
like
Yeah,
the design is
I shared the link to Sister Dorcas already.
okay? So we're going to get it
Yes.
across to you.
Yeah, she's going to get it.
Well,
Wait, quick
I
question.
think it's better to come up with our own ingenuity. We need to come up with our own creativity. It doesn't necessarily mean that we need to follow what the tutor has actually taught us. So we can come up with our
Yeah,
own
I
design.
mean, you can come up with your own design, but it also takes a lot to like actually when you're learning something to follow a particular design. Because I remember when I was learning, I had to follow through because those are the things when you see someone doing something and you do it, it's going to register in your subconscious when you're trying to do your own. So you can do exactly what I've done, following the tutorial and send. Then like you can try to like explore other ways to design something. But first, you have to even learn how to like follow through exactly what I've done.
Yes, I think I subscribe to that too because you know there are many things that can be done subsequently. You can, but we need to look at okay, what was
Yeah.
taught us, like can
Mm-hmm.
we replicate it?
Yeah.
How can we do it like it has been done, or how can we even improve on it? So from
Mm-hmm.
that we can always um replicate it into something else. In fact,
Yeah.
when Bro Sanusi was saying that, okay, can't we just do something else, like create something? I was like, maybe that's going to be two for you. You are doing this, and then you bring in another design that you want to do. So making it double assignment for you. I hope you have the
Mm-hmm.
time to do so, Bro Sanusi.
Definitely.
However, it's just an avenue to learn
Of
and
Yeah,
to
it's an opportunity to learn because probably I'm talking about myself.
yeah.
One good thing about assignment is that when you are given a task, not what the what's it called, the tutor has actually been presented, not the example, so that you come up with your, because you need to fumble to be able to get to perfect your
Mm-hmm.
skills. That's my
Yeah.
own understanding of learning.
Yeah. I'm not saying you. I'm saying I would appreciate to see both. You can do exactly what I've done and also explore other design with the knowledge you've gotten already. So
Yes.
that means like 2 tasks for you or 2 assignments to submit.
Yes. And and together with what came to my mind just now, this is kind of a project which has been done for us, creating a bill. There's this thing that I enjoy seeing on the internet too, whereby you already have a template. Like for every one of us, we can have a design, a template where you can just write whatever you need to write. Maybe it's a passage of the scripture, or maybe it's a passage from the exhortation you just listen to. Just put a little bit of it into a space, a design template you already made. From what we've been taught today, tonight, we can easily do that as part of what we can, try to do when we get home. So I really, really appreciate this timing. Oh, there's a lot of messages in the chat box already. Sister Blessing. Oh, Sister Blessing is around. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the wonderful session. God bless you. From Bro Emmanuel, thanks for educating us on this. I do appreciate. May God reward. Basically, there's no questions, but a lot of appreciation. However, we are going to make sure that the assignments are done as much as
I
people
just
can
have a
do it.
question.
Oh, there's a question already?
No, I just want to ask,
Someone has a
should I
question.
share the templates or the flyer? What do you think?
No, the flyer itself, I think. In that case, we probably need to, okay, we can easily get that. Everybody can go ahead and download the logo for the church and just do it. So I think the flyer itself, the bill itself, the already done bill can be shared with us, and then everybody can just try to use this platform to recreate it.
Okay.
Sister Deborah is support. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Now I want to give Sister Deborah the opportunity to speak. She's one of the facilitators of this program. Are you still around, Sister Debbie? I'm not sure I can see her here. But and that means she's not around. So one last time, we want to appreciate.
I'm sorry, my device is available. All right. Well, thank you everyone. For Mr. Daniel, meeting for the first time. You're welcome, and thank you for the session. All right. So I was hearing feedbacks and assignments. Actually, it's part of the plan because you know that a one-time class might not be sufficient to recreate everything we have learned. So this is the plan. We want to have a normal Bible study post on the church page. Like we do have a Bible study with Kumi. So we are gonna have people do design for us and send it to us back and send to Sister Dorcas or to me or send it to the facilitator. She knows the way she's gonna get through to him. All right, so we're gonna give our feedbacks on them like, all right, you adjusted the color properly. So we're gonna share the quote for us now. Actually, it's the quotable quote from Pastor Dr. W. Kumi, the ones we have on our Bible study manual. Then another one you can do is if you have something upcoming, maybe you have your daughter or your friend's birthday, do a design, then bring it back to us. We are gonna help you to vet it. Do you understand? So that is the plan. I have a lot of the quotes here from our last Bible study in church. Yeah, so we have faith that desires, all those dead faith and stuff based on what Sister Dorcas and the speaker has taught us. So do your own design. Actually, if you do it very fine and well, we'll post them on the church page. Actually, we're gonna use them for our Bible study with Kumi, and you can even join the media team to design because we really need a lot of ends. Like we have a lot of design to make. So we really love that if if you really want that kind of a feedback from you. I mean, really want that kind of a feedback from you, actually. So we'll appreciate it if you can do that. That is our assignment too, actually. We'll send a quotable quote. I'll make a snapshot. I'll send it to the group. Then the second is any event that you have a birthday, you have to greet somebody, just come and talk to us. I mean, do the design and share with us. Then we're able to criticize it now. Oh, you did it very well. You didn't do it very well. I've adjusted this, adjusted that. So that is the plan. I hope that assignment is okay. Everybody, are we going to do it? Is it okay to do? Are we going to do them? Do we have a deadline to do them? Or it's just for your personal good to put a deadline, actually? You let's say that tomorrow just bring a design and bring it for. Let's see what you have to put up. Or should next week be okay, or at your own pace? Which one? So we can drop it in the chat for anyone you want us to do.
I don't know if Bro Sanusi is still around. Oh, he's still around. He actually mentioned something which is very nice, honestly. And that's about maybe having another session after this. And I don't know if our facilitators will be available for something like that. In the sense that maybe in that session we can all come together as a team, every one of us, and check everybody's design, like and our facilitators too that are here tonight can also be around to constructively criticize whatever we've come up with. It may be the assignments we've already been given, and it may be the one that Sister Deborah is trying to explain to us now. And it may also be some other things that you also work on. So maybe we are going to look into, if it is possible, we find a time that we can come again together like this and check everybody's work, so everybody can share your screen, share everything that they've done, and we can always positively criticize what is going on. I don't know if this is okay by us.
Yeah, actually, what Sister Doka said is what I actually wanted to do. For me, the way I learned design is this. I learned it by constant feedback. Do you understand? Like when I do design, I go to the people that I know that do designs. What do you see today? Is it okay? I want to post this for an environmental awareness. Then they tell me, oh, you should have adjusted this way. To come together to decide that might take a long while before people get it. So if it's something that they can be able to, you can do a second batch of the training whereby they can go higher. Or what do you guys think? They can go higher in another dimension of design. But talking of the immediate design now, it's good. Just reach out to Sister Dorcas, reach out to me. Let's comment on what you've done. All right, it's fine. It's okay. You can do it this way. You can post it that way. Brother Sanusi, I'm with you.
No, continue. You're actually saying what is on my mind, because I think I already mentioned it earlier that just replicating what the tutor taught us may not be enough, may not be sufficient enough for us to actually bring our own ingenuity into what we've actually learned. Like I said, after we've done maybe what the tutor has already taught us, we still need to at least go a step further. That will show that, okay, we really want to learn. We really want to put what we've actually learned into practice. But just replicating what we've just the tutor just taught us may not really bring out our own genuine creativity. So that's why I think it's better to call because.
Okay. Yeah, me too, sir. I'm with you.
So this is probably we should have maybe 2 assignments, and probably we should have a timeline to it to actually submit the assignment. Okay, maybe by in a week or thereabouts. So from there, the tutor can know our challenges, can also constructively criticize whatever we've done.
Okay, let me just come in. You see, for the assignments, Bible study with Kumui quotes. That's what we're going to do. This is something about design. I'm talking from my own experience. I'm somebody who loves to visualize what I want to design based on what I want to design. Do you understand? Like, we are talking of the last Bible study, but we was really addressing by something about faith and righteous faith, and maybe we are talking about hope or light or something, like putting that into consideration and context in your design. So for the genuine creativity that you talk about, I love that the designer and what he showed us was talking about joint service, and was not really what he was just trying to do was giving announcements per se. It's not a word of motivation trying to illustrate what you want to do and stuff like that. So you can come up with your own. When we share the Bible study codes, we actually wanted the best person, like not like the best. Anything we do, we don't mind sharing it over time on the church page. You understand? So we really wanted to come up with your own. I'm sorry, please. We really wanted to come up with your own design. Do you understand? Then we check it, then it's fine, then we'll post it on the church page. We'll wait for you, but don't take too much of your time because it's already for the last Bible study. So it should be on the church page very soon, right? So we just wanted to come up with your own. For example, the way of faith, patience, and following after Christ is not to retaliate when people offend us. So let me put that here. How do you think, let me just start, I'll be done now before 11. Rosanusi, this is the way of faith, patience, and following after Christ. If you want to design this by your own, what do you think is one?
Are you directing this thing to
Yeah, I'm
only me?
directing it to you. What do
I'm
you
not
think is
the
an
only.
element you put there?
No. I'm
All
not
right,
the only
that is just
student on
one
this
thing.
platform.
Wait. Don't rush
Well,
yourself.
no, I can actually do it, but don't direct.
No, it's not about
It's
doing
just a
it now.
suggestion.
Do you understand? If I look at this is the way of faith, just to help us with our assignment. The way of faith, patience, and following after Christ. You can illustrate somebody walking on a way, for example. Then you can find a way to put the way, the word there, highlight it, illustrate it. Like that. Most of the quotes are something that we look at for. Okay, let me just put it for us. This is assignment. Do the quotes. Don't just put it as a word standing on a plain background. Let's see how you can really come up with creativity, how you can illustrate what the quote is talking about. Like I just posted for us, the way of faith. Something is a key word there. There is a way people walk in the way of faith. So you can illustrate that in your design. So let's have that. Really want to post this on the church page. So we hope you will do that and come up with your own design. So let's have that by next week. Anytime next week, anytime you are done, just send this in. You can do it on your phone too, actually. But I don't like phone CANVA. I never used it. So do it, send it to us. Let's send it to Sister Dorcas or me. Then I will tag a number on the page.
Okay, that means what's it called? I'm the only person that is being given assignment because I asked a question now.
Not
because
you.
I gave my contribution.
I'm just everybody.
No, the way you are saying it, you are directing it. You are directing
no, I'm saying that.
To me
Okay,
alone.
please excuse me. I'm sorry. This is not what I'm saying. I said, for example, the way of it. How do you think we can design this? That was a question I asked you actually. So you were saying that, oh, you don't want. I said, okay, don't worry yourself. We will go about using it. Everybody, I will share the quotes on the page for people. Pick any two that you are comfortable with and design, but try to put it on illustration. Try to implement everything that you have been taught. Dorcas was talking about basic design. I think the meeting is being recorded too, so we will share the recording so you can listen and try over and over again. But share with us. Let us criticize objectively now what you've done. Do you understand? So pick any two quotes and do. Then if you have a greeting you want to make for somebody, you want to greet somebody on their birthday, also share with us too. Do it and share with us. So the assignment is take any of the two quotes, do. If you have another design you want to do. But anything you do, we will share it on the church page. So do it very well and then give us your feedback. I hope that is okay by everybody now. I hope that is all right. Okay, so I've answered the question now, Brother Sanusi, right? We want us to come up with something. We know that everybody can design. It's not that difficult to achieve, to do, and then to implement. So that is that for the, I think, questions and feedback. So we await your your design. I'm really wanting to see what you come up with. So God bless us in Jesus' name. So I think I'm done with this session. God bless you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for the very much engaging feedback. According to one of our facilitators, and I believe it's the same idea with both of them, we can always improve over time. So we don't have to wait until it is perfect. So create anything, just make sure that you put into your creativity what has been learned today. I pray that we do our best to bring out the quality we've gotten. In no time, because we've already spent so much more than we planned to spend, and I believe it was worth our time. So if we are going to be having a 2.0 kind of training, we let us know in no time. We let us know, but we expect that between now and Saturday, if you can do your design, you can get it sent to us so that we can check it out and then send you some feedback. And if there's any further questions, you can always reach out to any of us, and then we'll be able to answer appropriately. For the last time, I want to appreciate everybody that is here. Starting from, I don't know if it is brother or sister now, Temitayo, Sister Blessing, Sister Tolu, Bro Sanusi, thank you so much for coming. Bro Jeremiah, Sister Mary, and then to our facilitators, thank you so much. We can't appreciate you enough. Thank you for the time and effort you have put into making sure that this event holds. We really appreciate you, and may the Lord bless you so much. Because we started out with prayer, I want us to end with prayer. I would love to invite I don't know if she's around. Sister Tolu will pray for us.
This is Sister Tolu.
Can we have
Sister Tolu is not the one online. Our son is the one online.
Can we have Sister Dorcas pray for us? Thank you, Sister Dorcas.
Okay, let us pray. Father, we thank you for this session. Thank you for being with us when we started, and even as we progressed, and even as now that we are wrapping it up. Thank you, Lord, for imparting this word in our hearts, because we know that you created the heavens, you created the earth, and you have also given us the power, the ability to create things, to create designs. Lord, we thank you that this word that we have heard, this thing that has been taught to us, that you help us to make the most out of it. And above all, we are going to glorify your name with it. Lord, we pray that for everyone here, that you be with us in all our endeavors, everything that pertains to us, you will perfect it, and your name will continually be glorified through our lives. Thank you for answering us. And we pray that others that are going to also watch this recording, and even as we ourselves may go back to the recording, that it will speak to us anew, afresh, and you will lead us in the way that we're supposed to go. Thank you, Father, for answering our prayers. For in Jesus' mighty name, I have prayed.
Amen. Thank you so much. Have a nice night, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love to see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.